Hey guys, this is Wally from SuertePanda.com. Welcome back. This is a unscheduled video. This week was just like absolutely nuts. I'll let you watch like other videos because other YouTubers have done a much better job in covering everything. And but by now you've probably read about like the whole Reddit versus big hedge fund news. So I think it started off with like the Wall Street Bets forum. And then like there one gentleman, his name is Screaming Kitty. He also has a YouTube channel, so I'll just link it to in the description because I think he seems like a pretty good guy. Like he had like this position in Gamestop like from way back when, but he was always sharing his information and his thesis like for free on his own channel, and then also on like the Wall Street Bets forum. A Reddit forum, and like that's amazing. Like I think he's a multi-millionaire now, if I'm not mistaken, and I hope he enjoys it in good health. But it turned into much more than that. I think I guess like two firms that were involved, Citron Research, and then also I guess like the big hedge fund, Milton Capital. I think now they had a lifeline from Citadel's, so I guess they're partially owned by Citadel and also Steve Cohen's hedge fund. But again, I'll let you guys like kind of research on your own, like on the from other YouTube channels or like just like from the news in general. And I think it morphed into so much more than like than just like a trade. I think it was like a kind of like a David versus Goliath, but like Goliath had like machine guns and like like a big like flamethrower, and but the little guy still won, which is amazing. Even with all the like the dirty tactics, like there was like some news reports trying to make I guess like people on Reddit in general and like the little guys seem like were a bunch of crazy gamblers. And I'm sure there are, but I think it was much more than that. I think people had like this like repressed like anger and frustration from like the last financial crisis, and then now we have like a new like kind of like artificial financial crisis, and I think like tempers just like boiled over, and like people just like they're sick of it, and like they didn't want to take it anymore, and they did what they could. I guess like in the last free area of capitalism that we still have in the the financial markets, like the stock market, and even now it's like it still feels a little bit rigged. I mean, but this is just like my own opinion, and like we're really angry and frustrated, and like we want to take it out on something, and like I'm really happy that like I guess like people from like all over the world kind of just like jumped in, like Chamath jumped in, Elon Musk like gave out his like kind of like verbal support, the Winklevoss twins also lent their support. There was a like a billionaire from China, Justin Sun. I think he also is like the owner, or like I guess like he was the founder of like this cryptocurrency, Tron, or crypto like asset Tron. But anyway, it was just like crazy, like everybody trying to like throw in their support. Unfortunately, this was where kind of like the bad news is coming in. So as some of you know from the past, like I had like links to like open up a Schwab account, and I've also said some positive things about TD Ameritrade in the past as well. But given like the situation from last week where well first they had a lot of technical issues where like I couldn't even log in for a little bit, so that kind of like made me a little bit uncomfortable going forward supporting Schwab and TD Ameritrade actively. So as of this video, I'm gonna like just remove like their I guess like the referral links, or but I'll keep like the old ones in the past intact in case like for some reason like you don't find like another suitable option, I think, and you just want like the referral code to get like a little bit of extra money, that's fine too. But I won't actively promote them. And then also like the Amex Business card, they had nothing to do with the situation. I think like from my own personal standpoint, like I guess like the social media business kind of things isn't going as well. So I feel a little embarrassed that like my YouTube channel isn't really doing that well. So but I think I'll still just make videos for free just for people to learn. I guess I started off as like for family and friends, and then if there is like any I guess like just to kind of fund the cost of the channel, I'll figure something out. Like so far I'm doing okay from my training. So that brings me to like the next point. I think for me, I think it's a little too late for me to jump into GameStop. There are some other heavily shorted stocks that there might be something fishy going on. But I just want to say like short selling in general isn't illegal, or I don't think it's bad. It really depends on the situation. For example, if there's like a company like I guess like Enron or like Lectin Coffee, even just like from recent memory, where there was actual like outright like fraud and manipulation, then of course it's good to short sell something like that. I think the situation with GameStop was different, where I think they were just like in an artificially like bad spot, and like these hedge funds like piled in. Now again, that by itself isn't illegal, or it might seem a little shady, but I think the problem is where like the mechanics for naked short selling, where you're shorting stock that wasn't available to be borrowed. So basically, like for short selling, first you need like the original owner, and then you need like permission to borrow those shares, and then you can sell them in the open market, and then hopefully if it goes down, you make a profit, and then you give the shares back to the original owner. But in this situation was something like they were shorting like 140 shares for every 100 shares that was available. So that was crazy. So like I guess Melvin Capital got what they deserved, where I don't know if they were fully like 140% short, but I guess like just based on like the statistics out there, it might not just be Melvin Capital, it might be some other like funds that jumped in at the wrong time too. So those guys got what they deserved. But I think there's like a bigger, there might be a potentially bigger trade. I was reading on different forums where I guess silver has been manipulated for a while, and this is actually was in the news in the past few years, where I think a lot of big banks, they were artificially keeping like the price of silver down. So I don't know what the exact reason for that is. Maybe like they want to kind of keep a lid on like the inflation statistics, because usually gold and silver they do well in times of inflation, because like it's actually not the price of gold and silver. Like I guess like the value of gold and silver is going up. It's just that the value of the dollar is going down. So I think like the first trade I kind of jumped into a little bit is a company called First Majestic. They have a very high short float ratio. So I think I want to kind of lend in my support that way, like start like maybe like the next like big short squeeze. And the ticker symbol was AG. And I also talked about a trade that I did on a MicroStrategy, like because they have like a big position in Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy, MSTR, is also like a kind of like a play on Bitcoin. There's sort of like a call option on Bitcoin. So that's why I jumped into that trade as well. And they also have a very high short float, and I'm actually going through like their latest earnings. They reported, I think Wednesday or Thursday, I forget. But those are probably other people making videos on that too. So I just want to kind of get you guys, catch you up, like like on this whole crazy week, I'm actually quite proud where like the little guys, like they kind of like they just got fed up, and like we all decided to band together, and we're trying to like help out, I guess like the cause or like the movement, where you want to like kind of stick it to the man, or like stick it to like the greedy like establishment funds, where they already had like a big advantage, and then they still try to like get it an even bigger like unfair advantage. Is just like ridiculous. So I'm glad like I'm really happy like where like the little guys kind of won. So that's just my thoughts. I guess like in terms of like my channel, I'll continue to make videos, even though like I'm not like I guess like performing as well as I thought I would be, but you know I think this is helpful, even just like for my own like future self. Like maybe I'll go back in time and like you know, watch these old videos and see where I can improve, and you know, let's all try to help each other make money together, because I know it's like it's really still really rough out there. If you can give me a like, if you can share, and of course if you can subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And then also Tastyworks, I just want to give them a nice shout too. They also were able to keep the platform like running smooth. They also had like some issues with their not issues, but I guess like their clearing firm, like Apex. Like they had some restrictions also on GameStop and several other stocks. But as soon as it was available, like Tastyworks sent out like an email saying like it's available, and we can still trade GameStop and AMC and some of the other like names out there. And then that's where like Schwab and TD Ameritrade, they kind of like it was really disappointing. Like they didn't send out any really good communications on the situation. Like you had to find out like in the news. So that was pretty nuts. And sometimes like the media is just like the way they well, I don't want to get into like any any crazy theories. It's just I think it's like obvious for people to see. I think that's where like small channels like this help, like where like something doesn't seem right or feel right. At least we can express our opinions and then what we plan to do. So like I guess like for the future, I don't feel comfortable like supporting Schwab. I think American Express is still okay, like that business card, but I guess like for my purpose now, like I'm really not getting as much value from it, because I guess like the YouTube, I guess like the business isn't you know, there's no money obviously, so I'll figure something out, and I think maybe like my next video maybe I'll talk about like the PayPal MasterCard. So I think that there could be some interesting things, opportunities there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Please stay safe. Thank you. Bye now.